This is just a small, really short video to help you with this assignment for tomorrow. Tomorrow being Friday. So the assignment here I have is a table. It's going to be quite handy for you in year 13 because it helps to summarize which source of finance is appropriate for which circumstance. Because I feel like we did that assignment the last time and some people mightn't have been sure as to why this is appropriate for this situation but maybe not for that situation. So I've done out two of the options. I think there's about 14 options there, and I'll just ask you to finish it yourself. So the first one I've done is personal funds, which is your own savings account. Which is it appropriate for? Short, medium, or long term? Personal savings account is usually appropriate for short term. Because usually it's a small bit of money. Your savings account probably won't be massive to buy something huge in the long term. Is it internal or external? Internally means the money comes from within the business. External means the money comes from outside the business. Internal, because the savings are coming from within the business. And I've just said internal. Is it for capital expenditure, which is large purchases, generally like acquiring another business or buying a building or buying something large? Or is it for small regular purchases, revenue expenditures like buying supplies or paying employees? Usually your savings funds might go towards something smaller if you're running a business, like buying supplies or something like that, because usually you wouldn't get as much revenue from personal funds. So it's gone under this category, usually revenue. Is there interest to be paid on your savings? No, there's not. It's not like a loan. And how will it affect the control of the business? It has no effect. You're not selling any portion of control of the business. Sale of assets is going to be really similar to that. Retained profit is really similar to that. Some of these are going to be really similar and you'll get them done really quickly. Other ones you may not know as much about and you might have to, go through the notes we had the last time or even just Googling them quickly just to figure out a little bit to help you fill it. I've also done loan capital or share capital, because it's a bit different. I have gone with long term for share capital because usually if you're selling shares you need a large investment and it's because you want to change something, like I want to buy a second building or I want to do something major. So it's usually long term. So I've just left the others blank. Is it the money coming from within the business or outside the business? The money comes from outside the business. You're relying on a shareholder to purchase shares and bring in money from outside. So the money comes externally. So that's why I've put in external. Do you usually purchase large fixed assets or is it for regular expenses, capital or revenue? It's usually capital, because share capital, again, it could be something like you want to open up a second location or you want to open up a new product range and you need machinery or something. You need a large investment. So it's going to go under capital. Does the interest have to be paid on the share capital? No. It's not like a loan. And how will it affect control of the business? Well, it will affect control of the business because you'll have to sell shares. So you'll lose control of a percentage of business depending on how many shares you sell. If I sell 20% of the shares of the company, I lose 20% of the control of the company. I've done two. These three are really similar. These next two are really similar. There's also overdrafts, trade credit, so your supplier is paying at a later date. There's grants and subsidies, which are really similar. Debt factoring, which is selling your debt to somebody else. Leasing, which is a form of rent. Venture capital and business angels, which are going to be both selling a portion of your company to generally some form of a rich investor. And a mortgage, which is a loan for a house. They are all different types of sources of finance. Just copy as I did. And if you're not sure about debt factoring or business angels or something like that, then you may have to Google it. For other ones, you'll get it done really quickly. If you have any questions, just ask.